It began on a crisp October evening in rural Oregon, when a single call shattered the silence. 911, what's your emergency? A man's voice, breathless. I shot her. It was self-defense. She came at me with a knife. The caller? 34-year-old Daniel Whitaker. The victim? His girlfriend of 2 years, Emily Grace Morgan. Police arrived at the remote farmhouse within minutes. Emily lay on the hardwood floor, a deep wound in her chest. No signs of a struggle. No knife nearby. Whitaker was calm. Too calm. Blood on his shirt, but none on his hands. He said she snapped, said she'd threatened him before. Detective Leah Harmon, case file hash 3227. He kept saying he had no choice, that she was unstable, but something didn't add up. Inside the house, the silence was eerie. A cup of tea sat untouched on the kitchen counter. Candles flickered on the windowsill. There were signs of life, not violence. In the bedroom, officers found something else. A locked drawer, forced open. Inside, Emily's diary. A plain black journal. Worn edges, pages thick with ink. Entries dated back months. Diary entry, August 14th. He scares me when he drinks. He calls it love, but it feels like control. I hide the bruises. My mother wouldn't believe me if I told her. Detective Harmon. That diary changed everything. It painted a different story, one he never told. More entries followed. September 3rd. He said if I ever left, no one would find me. Sometimes I wonder if he's serious. Sometimes I'm sure he is. Emily's friends told police she'd tried to leave him twice. Each time Daniel convinced her to stay. Manipulation masked as love. Kayla Morris, best friend. She told me in July she was done. But the next week she said he cried and promised to change. I didn't know what to believe. But the diary continued. September 28th. I found a place. I haven't told him. If I'm gone by next week, it means I finally did it. She never made it. Daniel claimed self-defense. But Emily's autopsy told a different story. A single clean wound. No defensive injuries and no drugs or alcohol in her system. Detective Harmon. It didn't feel like a fight. It felt like an execution. Still, no murder weapon. No prints. No motive proven. In court, Daniel maintained his story. Showed photos of texts where Emily seemed unstable. But the prosecution presented the diary. Its pages chilling, its final entry, haunting. October 5th. He told me tonight, if I can't have you, no one will. I don't know if I should be afraid, but I am. That was 3 days before her death. In a shocking twist. The jury deadlocked, mistrial declared, no conviction. Emily's mother, he walks free, she's gone. And I read her last words in ink. That's the justice system. Today Daniel Whitaker lives just 40 miles from where Emily was buried. No retrial date has been set and no closure given. But one diary tells the truth she never got to speak. A woman tried to escape. She wrote her fear in silence. And in the end, the only thing that spoke for her was her diary. This is Vanished Whispers. Subscribe for more true stories that demand to be heard. The investigation deepened. In the stark light of the courtroom, the truth seemed to flicker, never fully seen, always just out of reach. Detective Harmon. Daniel, did you see the knife? Daniel Whitaker. It was in her hand, I swear, she rushed me. Detective Harmon. But we didn't find any knife, Daniel, not in the house, not outside. Daniel Whitaker. I don't know what happened to it. Frank. I heard shouting, around 7:30. Then it went quiet, too quiet. I looked out, saw Daniel on the porch, he was smoking, didn't look upset. Rachel. Emily called me that night, she sounded scared, she said, if anything happens, remember I tried. I told her to leave, I told her to run. No fingerprints on the teacup. Candles burned down to stubs, wax pooled, suggesting hours of undisturbed quiet. A single muddy boot print by the back door. Too large for Emily. Not a match for Daniel. Prosecutor. Kayla, did Emily ever mention self-harm? Kayla Morris? Never. She was scared of him, not herself. Defense attorney, but these texts, I can't take it anymore. Who are they about? Kayla, about Daniel, she told me. Dr. Patel, no signs of struggle, no defensive wounds, entry wound at a downward angle, consistent with someone sitting or kneeling, not charging. Detective Harmon. We found a voicemail, deleted, recovered from Emily's phone, time-stamped the night she died. Emily's voice, trembling. He's outside, he's angry. I think he knows. Please, if you get this. And then, static. The message cuts off. Mrs. Whitaker. Daniel loved her. He's not violent, he wouldn't hurt anyone. The police are making him a villain. Too many stories, too many shadows. The truth slips through our fingers. But as the case files closed for the night, a new clue emerged. Tucked deep inside Emily's diary, a page hidden beneath the liner, a single Polaroid photo, blurry, two figures in the woods, one unmistakably Emily, the other face obscured by shadow. The timestamp? 2 hours after Daniel's 911 call. The mystery deepens. Was Emily's story ever truly told? Or did someone else leave their mark, unseen, unheard, still at large? The case remains open, some secrets refuse to stay buried. The case files gather dust, but the truth resists silence. Weeks after the trial, a final piece of evidence surfaces, an audio recording captured by a motion-activated wildlife camera near the woods behind Emily's house. The timestamp, 3 minutes after Daniel's 911 call. Investigator, begin playback. Increase volume at the 30-second mark. Emily, please, I did what you said. Unknown, quiet, no one can know. Investigator, can we enhance that second voice? Audio technician, it's not Daniel, the vocal profile doesn't match. We're running it through the database. The revelation rocks the case. If Emily was alive after Daniel's call, who was she meeting? And who was the shadowy figure in the Polaroid, now possibly the last to see her alive? Detective Harmon's notes, recently declassified, reveal one last cryptic entry. Follow the money. The night wasn't about love or rage. Someone else pulled the strings. But the file ends there. No arrests, no confessions, only a lingering sense of dread, and a case that refuses closure. The truth, once thought so close, now fragments into new possibilities. Was Daniel ever guilty, or just a scapegoat in a far more tangled web? And as the woods reclaim their silence, one question remains: who really walked away that night, unseen? The story closes, but the shadows linger, inviting us to wonder if justice ever truly found its that no secret stays buried forever. The truth, once hidden in shadows, now lingers in every corner of the town. As news of the resolution ripples through the community, a quiet transformation takes place. Neighbors gather in candlelit vigils, faces illuminated by hope and memory. The woods, once a place of whispered fears, become a site for remembrance, flowers left where secrets once lay. Daniel, no longer burdened by suspicion, walks freely through familiar streets. His eyes, once clouded by pain, now reflect gratitude for the justice finally served. Olivia, though marked by guilt, finds solace in honesty, her courage sparking conversations about forgiveness and the heavy price of silence. Detective Harmon, his career defined by this case, retires with a bittersweet smile. He knows that justice is rarely perfect, but the pursuit of truth remains its own reward. Emily's family, though forever changed, begins the slow work of healing, her memory honored in every act of kindness and every vow to protect the vulnerable. The town itself learns to look beyond rumor and suspicion, choosing instead to rebuild trust. In the end, the diary's pages are closed not with answers to every question but with the promise that no secret can withstand the light forever. As we leave this story behind, we are reminded, even in the darkest of mysteries, hope endures. And sometimes, the greatest justice lies not in punishment, but in the courage to tell the truth at last. Thank you for joining us on this journey through vanished whispers, and for believing with us that every story deserves its ending. Just as the town begins to heal, a new ripple disturbs the fragile calm. Days after the case is closed, an unexpected figure steps forward, a weathered farmhand named Clara, who claims to have been near the old farmhouse on the night of Emily's disappearance. Her voice trembles as she recounts seeing a shadowy figure slipping through the trees, far from where Daniel and Olivia were thought to be. Clara's testimony doesn't match the timeline established in court. She describes a tall stranger wearing a distinctive red scarf, an item never mentioned in the investigation. At first, her story is dismissed as a desperate bid for attention. But then, a battered red scarf is discovered buried beneath a pile of autumn leaves near the farmhouse, a chilling, tangible link to Clara's claims. The community is thrown into turmoil once more. Detective Harmon, pulled from retirement, pores over the evidence, his confidence shaken. Olivia's relief turns to dread while Daniel questions everything he thought he knew about that night. Conflicting testimonies swirl. Some recall seeing Clara near the farmhouse, others insist she wasn't there at all. The red scarf, faded but unmistakable, becomes the centerpiece of a new mystery. Was justice truly served, or has the truth slipped away once more? As suspicion spreads like wildfire, one thing is clear. The story of vanished whispers is far from over. The final answer may still be waiting in the shadows, daring someone to seek it out. As whispers of the red scarf ripple through the community, another secret claws its way to the surface, one that shakes the very foundation of the town. Hidden in a stack of Emily's old letters, an envelope addressed to Mayor Caldwell is discovered by her grieving mother. The contents reveal a clandestine connection. Emily had been working part-time at the mayor's private estate, far from the eyes of her friends and family. The mayor, a respected pillar of the town, had quietly arranged for Emily's employment after a chance encounter months before her disappearance. The revelation spreads like wildfire. Families reel as trust in their leaders crumbles. Olivia's mother, once close friends with the mayor's wife, now finds herself questioning every shared memory. Daniel's father, a local business owner, is thrust into the spotlight, defending his family's innocence against a tide of suspicion and gossip. Amid the turmoil, another figure emerges from the shadows, Evelyn, the mayor's estranged daughter. Long kept at arm's length, Evelyn harbored deep resentment toward Emily, believing she had replaced her in her father's affections and attention. Investigators uncover a series of heated messages and jealous confrontations between the two girls, painting Evelyn as a new and compelling suspect. Her motives, rooted in heartbreak and betrayal, cut deeper than anyone imagined. As families fracture and old friendships dissolve, the town is forced to confront painful truths about power secrets and the devastating cost of silence. The search for answers has never felt more urgent or more dangerous. In the quiet aftermath, one question lingers in every heart. How well do we truly know those we trust most? As the sun dips behind the withered trees, the town's air crackles with anticipation. Daniel, clutching Emily's favorite bracelet, finds himself face to face with Evelyn in the abandoned playground where secrets used to be whispered, and now, accusations echo. Daniel's voice trembles, fueled by grief and suspicion. Why did you hate her so much, Evelyn? What aren't you telling us? Evelyn's eyes, rimmed red, flicker with a mix of anger and pain. You think you know everything, Daniel? She took everything from me. My father, my life here. I just wanted my family back. Their voices rise, raw and desperate, as the truth teeters on the edge. Evelyn steps closer, her confession barely a whisper. I never wanted it to go this far. I never thought she'd... Suddenly, headlights slash through the gloom. Detective Harmon bursts onto the scene, his breath ragged, clutching a folder thick with new evidence. Daniel, Evelyn, stop! There's something you both need to see. The truth about what happened to Emily isn't what you think. He opens the folder, but before he can reveal the contents, a distant siren wails, and a shadowy figure slips from the tree line, vanishing into the darkness. The camera lingers on Daniel and Evelyn's stunned faces, Harmon's hand frozen mid-page, and the empty playground haunted by secrets. A single question hangs in the night air. If Evelyn isn't the only one hiding something, then who else is watching from the shadows? The case, once thought nearly solved, is now more tangled and dangerous than ever before. The days that followed brought a quiet transformation. Daniel, once haunted by loss, visits Emily's grave, laying a single white rose in the morning light. Olivia, her burden finally lifted, embraces her family in tears, grateful for forgiveness and a second chance. Detective Harmon, his work finally done, retires with a bittersweet smile, knowing the truth has brought healing at last. The town gathers for a candlelit memorial, faces illuminated by hope and remembrance. In their midst, Emily's diary is found, its pages intact. At the gathering, the diary is read aloud. Emily's words speak of fear, but also of courage and hope, reminding all that even in darkness, light endures. As dawn breaks, the town stands together, united by loss, but also by resilience. The first rays of sunrise promise a new beginning. The story of Emily Grace Morgan ends not in tragedy, but in the strength of those who choose to remember, forgive, and move forward together. In the end, the diary rests in gentle hands, a symbol of truth, resilience, and the promise that no secret can outlast the dawn.